Mike Crawford is the chairman of the Hall of Fame Resort and Entertainment Company, whose holdings include the Hall of Fame Village around the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio. The Hall of Fame Village is part theme park, part site for the annual Hall of Fame game, and in the future, it's going to house a retail sports book. Ohio legalized sports betting this year and may be able to launch it by the end of the 2022 NFL season. Here's HeyUSA's interview with Crawford on what's next for the Hall of Fame Village, if he's a Baker guy or not, and who his new sports betting partners will be.
Well, I think we've always talked about sports betting being an important part of the experience that we're going to create here, both physically and virtually. It was great to see the law go through. I think Ohio has passed really what some are saying one of the more comprehensive sports betting laws out there in the country, which benefits us. And we're looking forward to creating a retail sports book here on property at the Village with our partners at Rush Street Interactive. In fact, they were just here yesterday, and we'll be announcing the location of the sports book that we'll be putting in place. And hopefully we'll have that up later this summer. Of course, it all depends on the timing of the application process and then finally obtaining the license. But a really unique interactive sports book on property, I think, creates another compelling reason for people to come and visit. But while they're here, it gives them something to do that enhances the way in which they view sports. And we all know that, I've always said this as I was growing up, you'd always throw down $5 with a buddy or something, and it just made it more fun. It made it more immersive, and you got into the plays a bit more. And so we're excited about creating that experience for our guests here. And then we just announced this morning, literally at 8 a.m. this morning, a mobile partnership with a company called Genesis, a company that will be fairly new to the United States, but a company that's done a lot of things in Europe, based out of Malta, a big company that has a really incredible mobile interactive experience. And for me and for our company, I think that's the most important thing. For sure, these are lucrative business deals for us and partnerships that can create shareholder value, which we're always focused on. But my experience is if you create a great location or a great virtual environment for fans and guests to engage with, you're going to have people coming and enjoying those environments. And so that's what both of these partnerships do for us now that sports betting is legalized in Ohio. Yeah, we looked at one partner to do everything. But this is where we as a company decided to make sure, as I said, that the capabilities for the different environments we wanted to create, both mobile and virtual and physical, that we had the absolute best opportunity to monetize those, and also partners that were excited and enthusiastic about helping us create those environments that our guests will enjoy. Well, we're looking at about a 10,000 square foot facility, so fairly sizable. We're looking to partner the gaming experience with a compelling food experience. And so we're looking at 3 or 4 potential partners on that front where, you actually have co-branding or experienced food operators helping support Rush in delivering the overall environment that we're going to create there. No renderings yet. As I said, we had the senior executive team from Rush on property yesterday, and there were 2 locations that we were looking at, both premium locations. Of course, we wanted to give them the chance to really assess from their level of expertise where they felt like the most compelling opportunity for them would be. We did that. We picked that location, and now the renderings will start. But it can go fairly quickly. I mean, these are really great, experienced operators that deliver a high-profile, highly interactive, immersive experience. They did have their design architect firm with them yesterday. So, now they've got a sense of the space. We'll really start to take the ball and run down the field pretty quickly. They're great at what they do. And when I met with their CEO, he and I were both so aligned in the kind of experience that we wanted to create, high quality, not only in terms of when you walk in, the wow factor, but the service, the level of technology, the way in which the fans can with ease interact with the sports betting environment. They have a great presence in this particular region, but have also operated for many, many years, these kinds of retail sports books. And I would say they see the big value in creating a physical plant to complement the mobile environments that are really taking off as well. I think they will. My background, as you may know, I spent a lot of years working with the Walt Disney Company. And, there again is a company that does it incredibly well with creating the storytelling and, using the intellectual property that they have created to then create environments for people and fans, guests to have an incredible experience in. I think when you come to a destination like this, you expect to see something unique and different. Even if it's Starbucks, we're working with them to create a different environment, maybe a slightly different menu offering. And so while you like some of the tried and true that you could experience where you live at home, when you go on vacation or when you go to a football game out of state or a concert or something, you like experiencing new things. And so I do believe that we can set a standard for not only the environment we're creating as a whole in the village for these sort of big immersive destinations, but for this in particular, the Sportsbook, I can tell you we're completely aligned with Rush in the way that we're thinking about, sort of this one of a kind, really immersive experience. Well, we were thrilled to just get it, right? I mean, the excitement around having legalized sports betting when every state around us already had it was great news for us and frankly for our shareholders, because these are meaningful deals that we've signed in terms of value creation from a monetary point of view and also from an experience point of view. I think that the Ohio Casino Gaming Commission will work diligently to try and expedite how the rules, the application process, everything sets up. My crystal ball is as good as anybody else's. The outside date, I believe, was Jan 1 or January of 23. But everybody knows that football, is the most popular sport in America. I mean, in 2021, I believe it was 9 out of the 10 top-rated television shows of all television shows were NFL football games. And so the opportunity for maximizing revenue to the state, to us and others, really does get enhanced if we can launch this for the football season. Having said that, there's a lot that goes on with football in the early part of the year as well. I mean, if you watched this past weekend with the playoffs, my goodness, you couldn't have seen more exciting games than what was happening. And we're looking forward to the same this weekend. And then, of course, the Super Bowl. But you get into basketball. I mean, every sport now has the betting opportunity is so expansive. And as technology is enhanced, the concept of this prop betting where you can bet on the field goal make or miss, bet on a run play or a pass play or, whatever the case may be, this micro betting concept, I think that's really going to take off and allow people to, as I always say, engage and be excited about, what they're watching without putting at risk, significant dollars. Well, there's always interest in the state when any hometown team is winning, right? I'm excited for Cincinnati. I grew up more towards Northeast Ohio, so I have to admit the Browns live in a little more special place in my heart, and the season wasn't quite what we had expected, but anytime you have a team from your state doing as well as they are, I mean, Burrow is a great quarterback. They've got a team that's gaining momentum. They're a dangerous team right now. So, yeah, I think sports betting would be very interesting in the state right now had it been legalized and up and running. He's an exciting player. He's a leader. I think he's matured over time in his decision-making. He's always a guy that had, he was sort of safe in terms of how he controlled the ball. This year is like any other, there can't be excuses. All teams faced COVID this year. All teams have injuries. It's part of the big reason why we're excited about the NFL alumni developmental camp we run here, because we sent over 20 players into the NFL this year coming out of our developmental camp. And so I wish Baker well. I hope that he can find his rhythm in the coming years, because I think the Browns team have an incredible running game. I think they have an incredible defense. They got a lot of the key components. Stefanski's a good coach, so I think they'll be there. As you might have read, the sports franchises and the casino racinos were identified as those that had preferred opportunity for a license here in Ohio. There is an open application process, but the application, or I should say the applicant, has to meet several different criteria, majority of which is economic development and economic uplift and creation for the city, the county, the state. We meet all of those criteria. And so, we feel very good about our opportunities to obtain the two different licenses that we'll need. The mobile gaming license is a different license than the retail license. And so, as we're developing our company, as we're growing the footprint here, the economic impact we're having on the city of Canton and the surrounding area is incredible. And I think, I'd like to handicap our chances, no pun intended, as being very good at obtaining the licenses that we need. I wish I could take more credit. We have an incredible team that worked very closely with legislators and lobbyists. I give them all the credit. They really worked on understanding how this was maturing, giving thought input to that, and is our responsibility as a company, but also our responsibility as a corporation here in Ohio. We were fortunate that the legislators, were open to that. And so, look, Mike Crawford isn't going to take credit for that. The legislators, I think, really put together a sound bill, both the House and Senate could feel comfortable with, and the governor, and it passed. And, there was the state senator, Kirk Shearing, really that championed this and really helped. As you know, politics, I'm not a politician, but you really have to coalesce around the objective. And I think he was successful in doing that. Well, it's funny you say that. I was on, we do a twice a year update for our Hall of Famers on what's going on with the Village and the Hall of Fame Resort and Entertainment Company, because as you know, we develop media and we have these gaming environments as well. A lot of excitement, and they are a big reason why our company exists and why we're having success. Partners, sponsors, events, they love the fact of our connection with professional football, our relationship and partnership with the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And so you're right. I will tell you, though, there are a lot of folks that come here that are within the realm of football, but outside of the realm of football as well. And so, I'm excited about what we can bring our fans. The celebrity of it all, as you know, gets people jazzed, and they like to be around people who played the game and maybe a little inside football. We definitely need to stand up the Village, and that's what we're doing. If you were here today, it's a little cold today, but the construction just is going at breakneck speed. So I'm excited about what fans are going to see this summer and the experiences they're going to have. We have more deals that are on the horizon, in terms of being announced with partners that will have a physical presence here. You may have seen we announced a partnership with another Hall of Famer, Isaac Bruce, to do a really unique cookie ice cream concept that he's come up with. And of course, Don Shula is going to be here as well. But our media group is got some very interesting projects that we're working on and hoping to announce. I think I may have told you before that NFL Developmental Academy that we had running, we've had it for 2 seasons and sent, a lot of players up to the NFL. We signed a deal with Whistle Studios, and they were here this whole year filming the players here, filming them as they got called up. So we're excited about launching a docuseries. We'll be talking about that in the future. Our second season for our fantasy football league. The first season was very successful for us, looking to make that even bigger and better. Just a lot of different things. When you have a company that has, great property and intellectual property, you get excited about the strategy and how you can bring it to life for the fans to enjoy and for our shareholders to benefit from. It really is. And I played baseball, I played basketball, a lot of sports. Football has that action. It has that fan base that really transcends the sport. It gives you that sense of community that people rally around. And by the way, that's what we created with our fantasy football league, was a model that resembles the NFL. You had franchise teams and front offices and ways for the community to interact with those front offices virtually. And I think that's what people are really focused on. COVID's been hard on everybody. And it continues to be something that we're learning how to live with. But without a doubt, if you look at the stands for football games, they are full, max to the gills. And so we're very fortunate to have that. I talked with the commissioner a couple of weeks ago, was talking to him about how exciting the playoffs were. He was excited about what we were doing, looking forward to coming and visiting us in the near term. I'll probably see him in Los Angeles at the Super Bowl. So there's a lot of connective tissue there that I'm very much looking forward to growing and strengthening as we get bigger and have the ability to continue to support what they're doing.